Did you know that Daniel Andrews and the Victorian Department of Education can transition your child without your knowledge or consent? It is written in the education policy without any ambiguity whatsoever. This is what it says on education.vic.gov.au. Parental consent. There may be circumstances in which students wish or need to undertake gender transition without the consent of their parents or carers and without consulting medical practitioners. If no agreement can be reached between the student and the parents regarding the student's gender identity, or if the parents will not consent to the contents of a student support plan, it will be necessary for the school to consider whether the student is a mature minor. If a student is considered a mature minor, they can make decisions for themselves without parental consent and should be affirmed in their gender identity at school without a family representative or carer participating in formulating the school management plan. Department policy addresses situations in which students, though under the age of 18 years, may be sufficiently mature to make their own decisions. It says to refer to the mature minors and decision-making part of the policy. That is what it says, word for word. Look it up for yourself. Follow the link in the status. This is extraordinary and it is dangerously insane. Let's take a closer look. It says there may be circumstances in which students wish or need to undertake gender transition without the consent of their parents or carers and without consulting medical practitioners. Who decides which circumstances warrant going behind a parent's back and transitioning a child without their parents' knowledge or consent? At which point can a school staff member make this monumental life decision on behalf of a child? Keep in mind, this is a teacher or a school counsellor, not a medical practitioner who's been professionally trained in this area. It's a teacher, not a parent who loves and cares for their child, but a teacher. A teacher who has maybe a 3 or 4 year degree, not a doctor or specialist who has almost a decade of intense study and qualifications, not a psychiatrist, not a judge, but a teacher led by child's feelings. I mean, this is full on. Read the next sentence again. If no agreement can be reached between the student and the parents regarding the student's gender identity, or if the parents will not consent to the contents of a student support plan, it will be necessary for the school to consider whether the student is a mature minor. No way, the courts determine whether or not a child is a mature minor, not an unqualified school teacher. They have no training or qualifications whatsoever to determine a pathway for a child against their parents' better judgment, love and concern. And yet Daniel Andrews and the Victorian Education Department are prepared to disregard your rights as a parent to care for, love and guide your own child. This is outrageous. Friends, since when can the state care for your child better than you can? In what kind of countries does the state presume to take control over children, completely disregarding the role of a parent? Not good ones, that's for sure. This is Victoria right now. It is unacceptable and it is dangerous. Australian paediatrician Dr. Dylan Wilson has warned that putting children on a medicalised transitioning pathway can lead to devastating consequences. A lack of sexual function, sterility, stunted brain development and bone density issues. That sounds like child abuse. Anyone who thinks a politician, even the Premier, can make these kinds of decisions for children has gone too far. Daniel Andrews and the Victorian Education Department have chosen to bypass medical practitioners, court judges and parents in their quest to make queer normal in Victoria. What are you going to do about it, friends? Are you going to stand by and let the state dictate what is best for your own child? Are you going to allow an untrained, unqualified school teacher to coerce your children behind your back? If not, visit binary.org.au today to take action against this dangerous agenda led by Dan Andrews in the state of Victoria. Together, we will stand and we will make a change.